call you if I'm struggling one day? Sure, be a friend. This is probably one of my most favorite ones. Who can I help today? Who can I help? Who's helped me? Maybe I need to send a note saying, thank you for helping me out with this program. I appreciate it. Face-to-face still works. We forget. Face-to-face still has a lot of meaning. And it's still one of my most favorite ways of saying thank you. But if you don't have the opportunity to do the face-to-face, when's the last time you sent an email telling somebody thank you for their time and effort for doing something for you? When's the last time you actually wrote a handwritten note to say thank you for doing something? And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be because they went that extra mile to get that patient scheduled. It could be that they went that extra mile to stay after work. Maybe that's worthy of a handwritten thank you note. It shows your appreciation. It shows that you're acknowledging what they did. And I'm still a fan of the handwritten note. I'm still a fan of the face-to-face. And the last one, I am still a fan of saying thank you by email. Because that person may be miles away. It might be the only way that you can do it. But don't forget, they have served us in some way. And I want to serve them and make them feel important. So serving. We serve so many people, and so many people serve us. We want them to continue to do that. Show them how important they are. This one is a challenge, building an effective team. And as I thought about this, and I look around from a lot of corporations, I think we're all struggling with this these days. Building a good team for patient care. Coworkers struggle in our professions. I think sometimes even at home we struggle. Life is changing. In my household, we have several generations. My mother lives with us too, so we're building a different kind of team as well. At work, teams are changing because you're bringing in a lot of young people, as they like to call them, millennials, the term that they love to use. And then you still have the people that are in the workplace that did things a lot differently than what we did. We're trying to integrate everybody and become a team where we all think differently, which can be a challenge when you're building a team. But I'll tell you what, some of the old ways are still the best ways. Reminding us, have a clear objective. I can't tell you how many times I have walked into a meeting not knowing why I'm here. Nobody's ever said to me, we're coming to work on this. They may say, hey, we're going to try to work on better patient outcomes. Okay? We get there. What are we doing? Nobody's ever told us beforehand or even when they get there really what the objective was. Be clear. Especially in meetings, I think we need to be clear. What we're meeting for, the length of time. I'm a big fan of the agenda, but I'm a big fan of keeping it simple and keeping it on time. That will build a more effective team. And another problem that I've seen develop over probably the last year, in roles. What role do you want somebody to play? Roles are changing all the time. And sometimes people can play different roles in your department, which is good. But I need to know today, what role do you want me to play? Do you want me to be the greeter at the door? Do you want me to be the person who's going to be running the back part of the show today? Where do we fall into play? Hey, I noticed Susie isn't doing so well today. She's having a bad day. Would you like me to go step up into the front? No, Susie's okay. Maybe she's really having a bad day. Shouldn't be working the front. She really needs a break from the front. Okay, then we're going to switch roles now. Define them. And it's okay to change. And my favorite one, flawless communication. Problems at work, problems at home, and problems patients always said. It's communication. And the key to that was, you always hear people say, they didn't listen to me. I was trying to tell them, but they didn't listen. And then you hear the people say, well, I was listening. And then you see them doing this. Were you really listening? Listening is making eye contact with people. As I did with my little guy, I get down to his level, at his eye level. He knows I'm listening at that point. And when I'm doing this, he usually keeps going. But when we finally get the eye contact going, it makes a big difference. Effective communication is the key. I've seen some of our teams that even in my job that have failed. And the reason why they failed is because of the communication. It was never communicated, the roles that they were playing, the objectives that we were on, what mission we were doing. We didn't know. I remember a time when we put up EPIC, which is called MyChart in our system at the University of Michigan. We thought we were communicating well, and I remember that first week the system went up. Everybody was very stressed. Nobody knew what role they were playing in this because it was a new system. And the first week we didn't do very well. We kind of actually fell apart. The following Monday we came back together realizing that we needed to make some changes. We needed to make them fast. And we actually got huddles together. We talked in the morning to find out what things that were happening, what struggles people were having, and communication started to get a lot better real quickly. But that was the only way we were going to be successful in this new system. Which brings me to cooperation. People are not cooperating on a team because it's my way or the highway, as some people like to say. This saying today sometimes needs to change depending on your team. Now, sometimes I know there's things that can't change because of different rules and regulations. But sometimes being open-minded and listening to new ideas may not be the most perfect idea, but maybe it's worthy of a conversation to start dialogue with your team, to say, hey, listen, maybe we can build something more from this. Having a prototype is a good thing. You don't need the end result when you start. A prototype works very well because then the team has an opportunity to change it. So cooperating is a good thing. Give and take a little bit. Listen to my idea and I'll listen to yours. Because if you start out with one idea, it can blossom into a beautiful flower if you do it. And I'm a big fan of individual development. I have watched teams over years not develop people and try, and they felt like failure because they felt like they could bring nothing more to the team than what they had. Nobody gave them the opportunity to blossom into that flower. If you have a team member and they have a skill, use that skill. If it's something they get excited about, acknowledge that skill and allow them to be able to join in. Hey, if you're struggling with the web, which a lot of times people are these days with their businesses, and you have an employee that's a little interested in it, let them go. Make them be your person that you can let them grow in that area. If somebody didn't let you grow, where would you be today? So individual development will make a team a wonderful team. It will blossom your team. I've seen good teams